Hey guys, this week I wanted to do a quick video devotional. I wanted to share a real connection that I had with a song and with scripture as it relates to boundaries. I don't think often we think about Psalm 91 as a scripture talking with boundaries. We just think about safety and who God is and how He protects us. But in essence, that is a wraparound presence of God includes boundaries and how close we stay to Him. So I want to read Psalm 91 to you really quickly, and I'm going to have attached on here a song I want you to listen to. It's a new song that Michael W. Smith wrote. It has 2 lines in it, y'all, and it's one of the most powerfully anointed songs I've ever heard. It says, "It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you." And we can be surrounded by trouble, anxiety, fear, worry, any kind of situation that brings stress to our lives, sickness, disease. And it may seem that that's what's actually surrounding us. But when we stay close to God, under the shadow of His presence and His wings, when we stay close in His Word and hide ourselves in Him according to the Scripture, then we are told that we're going to be safe. And so let's look at this real quickly. And then when you get a chance, click on the other link and take a listen to the song. It'll bless you. When you sit enthroned under the shadow of Shaddai, you are hidden in the strength of God Most High. He's the hope that holds me, the stronghold to shelter me. He will rescue you from every hidden trap of the enemy, and He will protect you from false accusation and any deadly curse. His massive arms are wrapped around you, protecting you. You can run under His covering of majesty and hide. His faithful arms are a shield keeping you from harm. You will never worry about an attack of demonic forces at night, nor have to fear a spirit of darkness coming against you. Don't fear a thing. Whether by night or by day, demonic danger will not trouble you, nor will the powers of evil launched against you. Even in a time of disaster, with thousands and thousands being killed, you will remain unscathed and unharmed. You will be a spectator as the wicked perish in judgment, for they will be paid back for what they've done. When we live our lives within the shadow of God Most High, when we live our lives within the shadow of God Most High, our secret hiding place, we will always be shielded from harm. How then could evil prevail against us or disease infect us when we're in His shadow? Remember Peter's shadow? People would line the streets in hopes that his shadow would cast across them and they were healed. Well, whose shadow was that? He was living in the shadow of Shaddai. God sends angels with special orders to protect you wherever you go, defending you from all harm. If you walk into a trap, they'll be there for you and keep you from stumbling. You'll even walk unharmed among the fiercest powers of darkness, trampling every one of them beneath your feet. For here's what the Lord has spoken to me. He says, "Because you've delighted in me as your great lover, and delighted in me as my great lover, I will greatly protect you. I will set you in a place safe and secure before my face. I will answer your cry for help every time you pray. And you will feel and find my presence, even in your time of pressure and trouble. I will be your glorious hero and give you a feast. You will be satisfied with a full life and with all that I do for you will enjoy the fullness of my salvation." I kind of have a personal testimony that goes along with this. One night, I felt like the enemy had attacked me as I was sleeping. And I woke up, and it was almost as if I could see how God was putting me in this safe place, tucked in behind. And He reminded me, He said, "You're under the shadow of Shaddai. You rest under the refuge because you have made me your hiding place." God was speaking to me. He was telling me the enemy came at me that night. But the Lord was showing me a literal response that He had because I made Him my secret hiding place. I spend time with God. I stay with Him in prayer. I stay with Him all day long. And He said, because you do that, when the enemy comes at you, I'm going to tuck you away. And I knew where I was at. I knew I was safe. And it was like something was trying to get me, and it couldn't get me. And so for me, that's my personal testimony of the promise of the Scripture. So I'm going to leave you with that today. It may look like you're surrounded, But when you stay in the boundaries of the presence, not getting too far from God's presence, not get too far from his conversation with him, not getting too far from his word, not getting too far from worship, not getting too far away from people of faith. There are boundaries that we have to stay in, and these boundaries protect us. Take a listen to that song and let it minister to you, because it may look like you're surrounded, but in essence, in reality, you're really surrounded by him. I love you guys. Have a good week.